Carolyn's Love. Carolyn drove slowly into town in the autumn weather. She felt so relieved, looking at the view of this small town. She wanted to find herself an ideal place to live and to write her own novel that she has cherished for a long time. About 7 kilometers from the town center, there was a small forest, a fresh and quiet nature land. She drove by there and saw that under the trees there was a lovely wooden house, isolated from the noisy life of town. The house was up for sale. This was truly her dream house. She followed the dirt path to the front door. Dry leaves scattered on the path, making a crunching sound with each of her footsteps. Through the white gate, she stepped onto the brick porch and peered into the empty house through the glass. The layout of the house made Carolyn feel excited for something new. After that, she quickly went to the realtor office and learned that the house was foreclosed and its previous owner was unable to pay the bank loans. After completing the house purchase and sales procedures, holding the key in her hand, Carolyn still could not believe that the house really belonged to her. Introduced by a friend to a good repairman in the area named Henry, Carolyn went to see him and asked if he could help her fix the house. By mid-December, all the renovations were done for the house she wanted. The roof was leak-free. The house had a fresh coat of yellow paint. The windows were green and the lawn was manicured. The house looked warm, different from what it used to look like when Carolyn found it. A great place for her to sit and compose her novel and continue with her unfinished manuscripts. Indeed, the house gave her an abundance of joy and emotions, inspiration, gentleness, flexibility, and she wrote with all her heart. One cold afternoon, while sweeping the yard, Carolyn suddenly heard a small greeting.
Hello, miss.
Carolyn turned towards the voice and saw a girl with red hair standing in front of the gate. Hello, Carolyn smiles. What's your name? Jenny. What about you? I am Carolyn.
What did you think of the house?
Asked the little visitor. I love it so much. I always dream of living in a house like this. My family loves it too, said Jenny. The new paint makes it so pretty. Carolyn stopped sweeping. Did you live here before? Yes. When my father died, my family had to move. Where does your family live now? Carolyn asked, feeling compassionate towards the little girl. In a cabin in town, miss. Carolyn put down her broom, approached the little girl and asked, What happened to your father? My father has been ill for a long time and cannot work. My mother took out a loan for my father's treatment, but the doctor said he could not be cured. My father passed away last year, just before Christmas. Then the bank told my mother that my family had to move. My mother cried a lot. Oh, I see. Jenny, would you like a glass of lemonade? Thank you, miss, but I have to leave. My mother will be very worried if she can't find me. I also have to look after my brother while my mother cooks dinner. Will you allow me to come back here? I look forward to seeing you. Before leaving, Jenny looked back at the house with a look of nostalgia. Looking at her house, her dream house, Carolyn felt very sad. Inside the house, she seemed to see Jenny's family lives. She could smell the smell of toast in the small kitchen. She heard the laughter of the children and the happy smiles of their parents. She felt very confused deep in her heart. That Christmas Eve, Carolyn asked Henry, the repairman, to disguise himself as Santa Claus and ring the bell of Jenny's cabin. When he entered, with a bright smile, the cabin suddenly became warmer in this cold night. He gave Jenny a special doll with red hair just like hers, and a blue rubber ball for Jenny's little brother. Finally, Henry walked over and handed Jenny's mother a white envelope and said, "Miss Sarah, this gift is for you." Sarah took the envelope in shock and opened it. Inside was the key, a house transfer paper in Sarah's name, and a card that read, "The house is waiting for you and your family. I hope this Christmas means something to you. This is truly my dream. Merry Christmas to you and your family. A friend." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She did not expect that a strange woman, a compassionate and noble heart, could sacrifice a fortune, a dream of hers, for others. For Carolyn, whether she becomes a famous writer later on in life or not, that dream house is a place where she has practiced great human ideals in real life before she translates them into words. According to the dream. Carolyn's love is a love that disregards all possessions, money, and materialism. She bought the most beautiful house, renovated it exactly to her liking, but knowing that this house has memories of Jenny's family who used to live there. She gave the house to Jenny and her family with a love coming from the bottom of her heart. How noble is that?